Okay, welcome everybody to Global Politics Africa, where we cover stories within Africa and only within Africa. So now we're turning our focus back to South Africa, which is beginning to have a lot of serious issues with corruption. Over the past 5 or 6 years, there have been a lot of political assassinations, especially in KZN. We've even had the situation. Who was the name of the guy who did the whistleblowing on South African police again? What was the name of the sergeant? Alex, what's his name? Remember the police scandal a couple of months ago? Yeah, we had that issue. Yeah, where police were working with criminals, and even one of these guys is in jail now. They're helping cover up political killings and gangster killings. Yesterday we had, or 2 days ago, we had this South African ambassador to France jump off of a building or get killed. He might have got the criminal syndicates may have sent people after him because he was being investigated for covering up the same things that deal with the police corruption. And
You want to
now
hear something funny?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
The guy who jumped off the building is Natim Teto, right?
Yeah.
And back in 2018 or something, he said basically summarized our country's pride and everything. And then he said that he's going to build a flag, for 22 million rands. And he jumped from the 22nd floor. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Do you think he did it, or do you think somebody did it, or do you think he committed suicide? I think it's suicide, but I'm not sure. Do you think what happened? Do you think somebody killed him? Yeah, your connection is very bad. Your connection is bad. Are you back? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm so sorry. Ish.
Yeah. Do you think he killed himself, or do you think somebody did it and was trying to be funny? Yeah.
I don't know. Now I feel like I don't think he's really dead. Like I feel like he staged it. You can see
Oh,
that,
so that
his crimes are catching up to him, and now it's like, let me just.
yeah, it may be staged, and the French will help him. This world is getting crazy. But anyway, so today we're talking about the Tembisa hospital scandal, in which apparently 850 million rand fraud no has been taken place with Tembisa Hospital. Money that's supposed to go for the
2
hospital.
billion.
How much? 2 billion.
2 billion rands.
Oh, 2 billion, yeah, has been misappropriated. This is money that's supposed to be going towards patients and stuff, and administrators and other people are taking part. So, can you give us a breakdown of what exactly is going on? Who are the people that are suspected of taking the money, and what the money was supposed to be used for, Alex?
Okay, so 2018, the government decided to try to rebuild the infrastructure at Tembisa Hospital because the the way it is so very damaged. The hospital is malfunctioning. It's supposed to be hosting 840 beds, but sometimes it hosts to like 400. So they saw that limitations and saw that the people were being affected, and they said, let's put out this tender, right? So this tender was brought up 2018, and then what happened is that Cyril Ramaphosa's estranged nephew, estranged apparently from his previous marriage, got a hold of that tender, and he's the mastermind of it because he was the one purchasing or sending out invoices that were not real. He was the one creating the shell companies to send out these payments to, and he kept taking out money below 500 rand so that it was not that noticeable that he was committing fraud. And
Yeah.
he involved a lot of syndicate, like other more what are those people called again?
Lionhead.
Cartels. He involved them
Cartel.
as well so that he can be protected and everything. Yeah, they also bribed their workers there so that they kept quiet about everything. It's just a whole mess. But it started 2018. It took, I think the transactions started from 2018 until 2023. So that's 6 years of them constantly taking out this money and not actually rebuilding Tembisa Hospital. So what's crazy is that Cyril Ramaphosa's nephew is involved in this. He's the mastermind, and it's just crazy. And Cyril Ramaphosa is, emphasizing that, this is my estranged nephew from my previous marriage. I've had no contact with him. I don't know what's happening there. I do not know him. I'm playing. He did not say that, but that's what he always says.
Yeah, but
He's
here's
be
the
like, I
problem.
don't know him. Like,
Yeah, but here's the problem is that how did he get the tender? He got it through his. I'm not saying that Cyril Ramaphosa is involved, but how did his nephew get the tender? He must have pulled strings for his nephew, right? Maybe we don't know.
Definitely, he did.
Yeah, and this is we can't do that. If you're a politician, you can't give tenders for your family. I don't think it's illegal, but
Yeah.
it's unethical, and it's a conflict of interest because you're giving it for your nephew. Let's look aside from the corruption part. You're giving it to your nephew and
Yeah.
everything else. That's a scandal in and of itself, whether they were stealing or not. And it doesn't help South Africa because we need to have a clear separation between politicians and contracts that they give. And somebody was killed because of this. The whistleblower, her name is
Babita.
Babita Deokaran. She was the
Yeah.
CEO of the Gauteng Health Department, and she flagged this criminal activity, and she was killed. And this is very, very frightening because it's sending a message. Not only here, we see it in the U.S. with Charlie Kirk, who is beginning to speak out against Israel. We see it with other people. People are getting killed for speaking the truth and standing up for
Yeah.
and standing up against corruption. So it's sending a message that the next person who sees corruption, they won't say anything because they don't want to lose their life. And this is how South Africa will slowly unravel and become a country which doesn't function well, despite the fact that it's joining BRICS, it has resources. Internal corruption is a big issue. And this murder that happened, it should have been solved. And also, why is this just coming in the news now, 2 years later, Alex? Was it talked about before, or is it because what made it get back into the news headlines now?
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm only hearing about this whole story now as well. When it actually happened, when Babita was assassinated, 12 bullets, by the way, 12 bullets. I did not know about that story. I honestly did not know. And I think the revelations of Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi who exposed the police and everything is just starting to come together with that saga,
Yeah,
with the
and also I
police.
guess
And
the
now
SIU,
with this,
the SIU has uncovered it and is now bringing. So maybe they've been doing their investigation quietly, and now that they have a lot of evidence and stuff, they're bringing it to the forefront. Yeah, which is probably what happened. Which is a good thing. There's still accountability in South Africa, but the question is, too little, too late. For example, Zuma still has cases of corruption from 10 how many years, and they still haven't had his day in court, even Malema. So these South Africa, I'm not going to complain because the process of justice takes time, but it's just that it's frustrating because these guys are still walking free for a lot of crimes they've
and it
caught. What do you?
shouldn't.
Yeah, it shouldn't. But I guess they want to be careful.
I don't get.
South Africa has a very liberal constitution. So the good thing about the Constitution is that it's fair and it's not racist. But the bad part is that it's too fair and it allows people to abuse how fair it is. For example, in the U.S., if you commit murder, you get killed. And in South Africa, they don't have execution. But maybe they need to bring back some hard punishment because some people are taking advantage of this, and somebody needs to make an example out of them. What do you think, Alex? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We should definitely bring back executions because people have gotten so comfortable with corruption. It seems like each and every person who works in a government environment, they're all involved in corruption somehow. Even if it involves stealing, like the smallest thing is like, those feeding scheme that they give to school students. Everyone is
Yeah.
just involved. They need to make an example of these people. And
Yeah.
we
And I
need
don't,
to be
go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to be more angrier. Like I feel like we're not angry enough. Like we need to 2 billion rands.
Yeah, and the thing is that a lot of these guys that do these crimes and schemes, when you try, not only are they thieves, they're killers because when you try to expose them, they'll kill you. They'll even kill you for 500,000 rand less. Who was the guy that was
Yeah, they
arrested? Who was the guy that's been arrested lately that they showed him in his suit with Chenka, the
Pet
KZN guy,
Matlala.
and somebody disappeared? Did they ever find the guy that was kidnapped? No, they never found him.
Yeah.
They never found him. That's a very bad
No, they
story.
did. They found him dead.
He's dead. Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
tortured. So this we need to send. I'm telling you the truth. This had been Nigeria. That guy wouldn't enter. He wouldn't be in handcuffs entering a truck. He would be burned to death in front of everybody. I'm serious. I'm not saying we should do that, but I'm saying that you have to fight evil
We
with evil.
should.
Yeah. No, because that's very bad. You kidnap somebody and you show them on TV to everybody trying to get money. That's very
Yeah,
horrific. And then he
it
has
is.
rights. He's allowed to wear a suit and wear chains. So this is a serious problem in South Africa. You know, man, I'm from Nigeria, so I would say we always talk about immigrants and they need
Yeah.
to be kicked out. And this force, like they want to make sure that foreigners don't get health care. No, what you need to be doing is focusing on your own citizens who are doing far worse, because this is very dangerous. Because this is supposed to be a hospital that's supposed to
It
treat
is.
people, and the money is being diffused everywhere. And when somebody does their job and calls it out, you kill them. So the next message now is that if I am a South African and I work in the government and I see corruption, I'm just going to keep quiet, because if I talk, I might be killed. Um,
I'm gonna take the bribe. Yeah.
yeah, and
You have no
Ramaphosa,
choice but to take the bribe.
yeah, Ramaphosa needs to step up now. I don't care if it's his nephew or whoever. He needs to make sure that justice is done in this situation and that they get everybody. And even if it means he has to arrest his own people in his party or whatever, and find out the people that are doing this. Alex, is it administrators in the hospital, or is there any link also to government officials in ANC or anywhere else? Because I know that the DA is saying we need to do an investigation. Are there any rumors that ANC or government officials were involved in this?
Yeah, I heard of ANC. It's mostly
Yeah,
ANC. Like I
yeah,
even heard of other political parties is ANC and just a bunch of cartels, the
yeah,
ones that, own the taxis and everything. It's always them actually. So it's
yeah,
ANC in those cartels. That's
yeah.
it.
And see the DA. See, I always say white people don't have to be criminals because they already have money. The DA is like, let's investigate this so that they can embarrass the ANC and they can get more credibility and power. So Ramaphosa has been a very, I don't have a, they say Zuma was corrupt. Zuma's level of corruption wasn't like this, like
This one is
Ramaphosa.
wild.
No.
And the economy wasn't bad with Zuma.
And in Becky, when I lived in South Africa, when Becky and Zuma were there, it wasn't like this. But now that South Africa is becoming real gangster now, serious gangster now. This and Ramaphosa is still in office, and there's no links to him, but somehow I smell a rat here, And have you noticed how they've slowed down the investigation now about corruption with the police in KZN? They're not talking about it as much as possible because they're trying to keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I wonder. Even that guy, the ambassador in France, they were calling him to testify, and all of a sudden now, either he's dead or he disappears. You understand what I'm saying? I think
Yes,
I
yeah.
believe that if you follow the trail of corruption, it goes all the way up to Ramaphosa. But Ramaphosa has enough people in between him to hide. He's the corrupt guy. Remember when he got robbed and people stole? Well, how much money was in his house? Cash.
It, yeah, but it was a lot. I forgot. I think it was close to 500 million. I'm not sure.
Cash in his house. Why didn't he put it in the bank? If you're not a criminal, you put your money in the bank, right? He kept it in his house,
Yeah.
and he complained that they came to his house to steal. I would have kept quiet because they would ask you, "Why do you have that much money in your house?" No, it's serious. All right,
Why? It doesn't
yeah.
make sense.
So let's see. What other angles do we have for this story? Yeah. So the political parties like the DA are demanding action involving investigations. We know that the DA doesn't really care about this. They don't care about Tembisa Hospital. They're capitalizing off this politically. What do you think? Yeah.
Definitely, no. D is very happy that this is happening. Sometimes I feel like they
Sometimes,
ended apartheid so that they can just watch black people embarrass like
yeah.
the other black people to be like, yeah, you see why we should be in power. You see, and these black people they keep proving DA right. They keep doing this crazy stuff. I just do not get it. Like you can still 10
Cartel.
million rands, it's fine. But at least fix the hospital. Damn. Like take
Because
your 5 million rand aside.
because as South Africa has become a free country, the politicians are looting it so that the life of the black people is actually getting worse. Because now there's more violence, more drug use, everything. So the whites are laughing. And they found some of this money was used on leather couches, skinny jeans. So these people were using this for rubbish. They were just their money that's supposed. And where did the money come from? Actually, was it from the government itself? The
It's from
government,
our taxes.
our taxes, yeah. So our taxes, we're supposed to pay for your taxes. Your taxes that are supposed to pay for healthcare is using so that somebody can buy skinny jeans. Come on.
Four Lamborghinis.
And I still feel so terrible for the lady that was killed. There's no justice for her. This is very bad.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
but it's so sad because
Yeah. So once again, I'm going to say that,
because she
uh,
was really prepared to go.
yeah, and we've learned a lesson.
Oh my gosh.
So what we've learned now is that
Yeah.
next time, just take the bribe, just take it. And the reason I say it because let me tell you, I believe in justice, but I have a child. She has children. I'm not going to die
Yeah.
because I have children. So even if I want to whistleblow now, I'll just take the money because if I resign, they'll kill me too. Do you get my point? So you just have. So this is a
Yeah.
serious problem.
Yeah.
Once again, we say that South Africa, now that this is out in the light, the South African people, and I'm going to go back. What was the name of that group of people that are fighting to make sure that only South Africans get healthcare? What's the name of that group? Uh, um, that goes to the hospital.
Dudula.
Yeah, Dudula. It's okay. You can fight against foreigners, but Dudula also needs to fight the government because the government is a bigger threat
Yeah,
to South African healthcare than foreigners. Because you now see why the hospitals are like Tembisa and other hospitals. It's not only Tembisa Hospital. I'm sure it's every local hospital in South Africa. There's corruption. That's why
every
there's not enough.
hospital.
Yeah. So these groups like Dudula and all this, South Africans need to rise up. I'm not saying they shouldn't fight foreigners coming in, but at the same time, look at who the number one enemy is. Um, Ramaphosa's nephew is making money off of poor people's taxes, and then it's not giving for hospitals. So now the same poor person, when they go to the hospital, they have no care. So this is South Africa, and I'm not only saying sorry, I'm not saying because we talk about other countries. Yesterday we talked about Nigeria, and we said the same thing. It's time for the citizens to be vigilant and to say, no, we won't accept this anymore. If Ramaphosa continues like this, he should be impeached because this is not the only problem that Ramaphosa has done. He went to the U.S. and did business with Elon Musk, who says that blacks are killing whites in South Africa. He has too much business with people that's undermining the image of South Africa. What are your thoughts on that? Then we'll head out. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We need to rise up.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
when I
just
say
so
rise up,
disheartening
it doesn't
because
mean rise up and
try.
start killing people, but rise up and demand for
Yeah,
conditions to change in the country. Also, the same thing like with children disappearing, children getting like the case of that girl that we don't know who raped her. So citizens need to rise up because if you don't rise up, the politicians won't because the politicians are just taking care of themselves and their own children. I wonder how much.
definitely.
Yeah, I don't know how much money Ramaphosa has, but it's a lot.
It's a
All right, so
lot.
we're done for today. So Alex, you can take us out since this is your show. Take us out, but we'll be back next week. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, this was another very interesting, very fire discussion
Yeah.
between me and Mustafa, and by saying F corruption, guys, really.
Oh,
Honestly,
we have to.
let's stop um doing this distraction towards each other. It's not worth it. You know, at the end of the day, the white man is gonna come back and be on power. And then we're gonna have this regret and be like, damn, we could have stopped that. Let's stop it now. Let's stop it now. So yeah, guys.
Okay.
See you in
Thank
the
you.
next one.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week. Very good one. Thank you. Okay.